Hi everybody, it's Tatiana and I am doing a book review today of Sugar by Bernice L. McFadden. This is my second time, I want to say, reading this novel, and I thoroughly enjoyed this reread experience. I first read this either right when it came out or the year after, which would have been 2000 or 2001. I was a different kind of reader back then, and so I read it in a different way back then than I read it this time. That does not change the fact that this book is still a favorite of mine. What Bernice L. McFadden does when she writes, which I mentioned in my review of the Book of Harlan, is she does this great job of not just having the historical background of the time period that she's in, but also drawing these connections between characters that you don't see coming. A brief synopsis: Sugar is about a woman named Sugar who is a young prostitute who comes in contact with a lady named Pearl and her husband when she moves to Bigelow, Arkansas. And Pearl has had her own tragedy in her life. One of her children was brutally murdered and mutilated, and so that's that's completely changed how she deals with the real world. And Sugar comes to Pearl's hometown and moves in and causes an enormous amount of uproar within the community, but also develops this relationship with Pearl that gives them both a new perspective and a new outlook on some things in life. And that's what the story is. The story picks up really from there. And again, the connections that she creates between characters that you kind of sort of see coming but don't really see coming, and then when it all comes together, it's like, whoa. And it's just really awesome to read and participate in. The tone of the novel places you in 1950s, 1960s Bigelow, Arkansas, and the struggles that people are having, that black people are having during that time, not just as black people in America dealing with the civil rights movement, but also black people dealing with each other and what they deem to be acceptable or unacceptable and how they treat people in regards to that, and how you can be friends with somebody and come to find out that friendship is conditional, and the conditions are whether or not they consider you to be acceptable by what they think is the norm and what they think is right. And it's a growing process for both Sugar and Pearl throughout the novel that it's really, really sweet and enjoyable to watch or read. Some of my favorite characters outside of Sugar and Pearl in the story are really the characters that you get flashbacks on, and those are the women who helped raise Sugar and brought her to this lifestyle that she currently lives without even at some point realizing that they did so. It's just a great story of how how the best intentions can turn out to not have the best results. And how do you go on from there? Can you make up for that? And then when the opportunity is presented to you to have healing, do you accept that opportunity? And how do you go on about your life once you receive that opportunity, and then if something else happens? This is just really, really an enjoyable read. If you have not read it, I would certainly suggest it. I would suggest any of Bernice McFadden's books. They are all awesome. I'm presently rereading This Bitter Earth, which is the book that follows this. It's the duology. It's Sugar and This Bitter Earth. So I'm currently rereading that. And I also did this as a buddy read with Lady from Freeform Lady. And we communicated over Snapchat and talked about the book, and that just encouraged how much I really enjoyed this story, because we had some different perspectives on a few things. And so just to be able to communicate that verbally with someone else and get their feedback and then discuss the details of the story even more made it more enjoyable. And I have said more enjoyable probably 20 times in this review. This is an example of why rereading a book is a good thing to do. I know a lot of people, myself included, have reread Harry Potter time and time again, and we still enjoy it, but this is an example of why rereading novels that you read when you were younger is just, it's something that everybody should do, because reading this now as a more, I don't want to say more critical reader, but just a different kind of reader. 2000 or 2001 was 15 to 16 years ago. I'm not the same person today and not the same reader today that I was then. So this just really reignited my desire to reread some other things that I have on my bookshelf that I wanted to reread this year that I haven't gotten to. So that's all that I'm going to say about that. I will not be doing a review of this Bitter Earth. I will speak on it briefly when I do my wrap up, because I'm thinking I'll be finished with that in the next couple of days. So yeah, hopefully this gets uploaded before my July wrap up, but my schedule has been just a little jacked up because work is demanding and takes away from my reading time and my editing time. So that's all that I have for today. Thank you all for watching. If you have read Sugar and would like to discuss it, feel free to do so in the comments below. I love book discussions and talking with new people. So I hope you all have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.